Republicans and Democrats need to come up with some sort of agreement, but then again, we've been talking about this for a very long time, and therefore I don't see it happening anytime soon. It needs to happen before President Obama ends his term, or he's going to be in big trouble. What would you say regarding the Republicans' compromise, if you will, at cutting spending? If the Democrats want to raise the debt ceiling, you need to cut spending.
They won't do it.
The Democrats don't,
as I said before,
seem to want to cut spending.
I hate to repeat myself, it's not in their DNA. I mean, what does he do, Obama? He goes out and gives a speech at a critical moment when we're waiting to hear there's going to be sacrifice ahead and we have to share it. No, not at all. He says everything is rosy. Medicaid and Medicare will stay the same, but we're going to raise taxes and we're going to stick it to the rich so that he plays to his constituents. This is the most cynical, irresponsible kind of presidency.
Well, how many Tuesdays in a row now have we had this, literally the same conversation, even the dress rehearsal of the budget,
that's right.
Which was all, it really all boils down to the debate right now. What does everybody think about the debt ceiling? What are we going to do?
This AAA rating being pulled is about to be pulled. This rating going towards the Standards & Poor's saying that we're going towards our securities are in a negative direction. That's the kiss of death.
Well, that Standard & Poor's making a big statement about what they believe, how confidently they feel about the current administration. They don't feel confident enough.
Exactly. That's a bad sign to all the markets.
But you know what that's done? That will force and heat up the conversation. I think it'll bring, I hope it brings both sides of the aisle closer together.
The reason we got into this mess in the first place in 2008 is because the banks were lending more money than they could afford to lend. So aren't we doing the same thing with the government if we raise the debt ceiling? Ron Paul actually said that we should know to live within our means. I mean, isn't that the problem that got us into this place in the first place? So then why would we extend our debt? That's sort of my mentality, and I don't like to use a credit card
but it's not
because I don't want to raise my debt. I want to pay for what I can afford with cash.
Well, that's
when Democrats have other people's money, it doesn't matter. And by the way, I might as well include Republicans in that.
Seriously, come on.
I'm sorry. Let's
that
face
was not a fair dig.
Very fair and balanced.
It's very easy to spend other people's money. It really is. I mean, and that's the way they're acting. Now he's on the immigration issue. God, he's in trouble with Hispanics. Is he ever going to use it?
Now, that's a good one, because if he doesn't come up with an immigration issue, a resolved immigration issue, which is pretty much one of the main things that he campaigned on, and he hasn't done a freaking thing about it except for the DREAM Act, which that's not going anywhere because the Senate doesn't.
Well, he's running now.
Right, he is. Well, he's been running since he was elected.
Nah, that's not. I think in the last couple months, he's running more than ever.
Since that first
I feel every time he speaks, he's running.
I think he basically got his backside kicked in D.C. and now he's getting up to get reelected, and he looks pretty good to get I mean,
but does he have to do something?